Hello everybody, it's Max McAllister here today. The Warhorse is back in the shop for a quick work over here today as he heads out for the second half of his second X. So he's started this one in San Ysidro, California, been to Lebanon, Kansas, been down to Key West, and then now he's back headed towards Lebanon. So when he was here on Saturday, we spent about 10 hours with the bike and did a lot of stuff. Reworked the delivery from the auxiliary tank. That's now working perfectly. He's thrilled with that. All the little tiny things that we had fixed are all working perfect. Everything's going good. Today we changed his front tire. He went ahead and put another 2,500 miles on the, or whatever it was, on the other front. So he was here at 16,700 miles the other day. Now he's at 19,578. And always remember 1,600 of that was his test and tune and getting down to the starting point. So he's actually put 18,000 miles so far on his trip, on his journey. The front tire was still good, but it's, we prefer to work on the bike here if we can so that he, doesn't have to end up someplace where he just doesn't know the mechanics and he trusts us. So we went ahead and changed the front tire. So now he has a matched set of Dunlops on. He got 20,000 miles on the stock tire, and it still have plenty of wear to go. But I said safe to do it here. He wanted us to look at his brakes, and his front brakes were worn down pretty good amount. So we've changed out his front brake pads. His rear brake pads were good, so that's good. I've been lecturing on using his front brakes because he's an old Harley rider, and old habits die hard, but Chuck's been doing a great job, obviously, using his front brakes. So we swapped out both sets of pads. There was a little bit of uneven wear, but none of the dramatic problem that they were seeing on a batch of 2018 bikes where they were really offset bad to one side. So his brakes are working fine. He's just been using them. And again, I didn't want to have to be looking for service if he could avoid it. When he had his rear tire done, he was in Denver and wasn't going to make it to San Ysidro. There's a Gold Wing chapter there, and a guy named Richard, I guess maybe a member or chapter manager, Richard. And
he's the assistant, and him and Todd. Yeah,
then a guy.
Richard is the president.
Okay, Richard's the president, and there's Todd is another member of the chapter.
He's an old geezer like me.
And he's an old geezer, says Chuck. And so those guys helped, gave him an oil change while he was out in California. And so anyway, but at Fay Myers, they were like, well, you want your tire changed when? And so he's like, now. And so it took about a half a day, but they managed to get him in and change his tire. So again, this is, just to be certain he can do a whole loop and get back to Atlanta. And we may just get him on an 11,000 mile tire change. He will have to have a rear done somewhere out, undoubtedly out on this journey, but we'll see. The Dunlops are supposed to last longer than Bridgestones, according to the internet. So we'll see how that rear tire holds up. But he's probably already starting out with close to 5,000 miles on it, but it still looks mint. So probably have to have one changed out in the field this time. We went ahead and did his oil and filters again, and just one to be safe, we changed the rear differential fluid one more time. Everything's mint there. So now that's just peace of mind for, whatever, a $7 bottle of oil in a half an hour of time. So very easy to do that, and so we know that that's safe. I fixed his passenger floorboard mats, which like I said, he likes to stretch and put his feet up, and one of the mats, the rubber grommets pulled loose, and the wind took it and shot it off into the netherworld somewhere along the way. So we replaced that, and then we screwed them down so that they're bomb-proof now. Not pretty, but functional. One thing Chuck said he's using a lot, and he really likes, are the Kuryakin side wind deflectors. So he's using those. Actually, here's our hero right here. He's getting ready to roll out here, so we're done with our pit stop. But the Kuryakin side wind deflectors, he's really loving those. You can set them neutral, and they do nothing. Or you can flip them in, and they take the radiator heat and blow it onto you when you're cold. or if it's smoking, burning hot, which he's also experienced, you know, multiple times, you close them and it'll send the radiator heat all the way out around your legs. It's particularly important if you got any kind of highway peg, because when you got your legs out from behind the body work, like on a highway peg, that radiator heat will just scorch you. So, and sometimes that's desirable. So he's been using it as needed. Oops, sorry, I kicked my camera here. We stripped out the the packet rack, so now he's got rid of everything that he possibly can jettison, and he's traveling as light as possible, and he's using this ice and water and cup that he refills as needed along the way. See, I keep kicking this camera stand. But going good. He's got his toll passes all set up today and took care of some personal business while we were turning his bike around. So we had 3 guys work on this. So we pulled his wheel off and put a kid in the truck, and he went up to the local Honda dealer. They swapped his tire for us. And then Billy and I worked on the brakes, the oil filter, and the other little tiny repairs. And we got Chuck kitted up with some new compression socks to help alleviate the swelling that's been going on in his feet and in his lower extremities there. So he's going to enjoy some nice healthy squeeze on his feet and legs to keep that fluid moving in his body. And one little thing we're going to have to order, we've been having trouble with condensation behind the clear water lenses. And the first trip when he came back, they were just caked full of bugs in the rim. And this one is doing it again, this little Darla one, but there's a little tear. It must have gotten a rock. There's a little tiny tear in the bezel where something whacked it pretty good. So we're gonna order up some replacements of these. So he's just gonna have to kind of wipe these out as if they get water behind them to keep them from fogging up. We're gonna have to talk to TPX. His radar detector gets a little fog in the screen in the mornings when the sun comes up and warms it up. If it's the dew is or rain has been around, if you've been riding in the rain, it'll get a little fog behind it. So we're going to ask him about that and see if they won't replace that. The other thing he's changing for this next segment out is he's going to be using CarPlay. So he hasn't done that thus far. So he's going to plug in and try that system out. So he's, you know, who knows how that's going to work. So the fuel system change is working flawlessly. He's totally thrilled with that. Of course, you know, it probably is more than $3,000 to get this tank fitted, kitted, installed, plumbed, and all of that. And to have it not working properly was just a real drag. So now it's good. He's thrilled with that. So as far as we know, we've actually, the bike's better than when it left here the first time, because he's, you know, got 20,000 miles, road tested it. We found what breaks, you know, flops, flips, and doesn't do right. And we've tweaked it and tuned it. And he's going to put another 10 or 15, you know, he'll be another 10,000 plus miles before we see him again. And when we do, we'll see what's happened since then and try and try and keep the horse in fighting condition for the battle that it's facing. So that's our horse. Here's our hero, Chuck. Come say hi, Chuck, before you go.
I was just looking at the U.S.
His Truex Crossings.
We got one down and we got one halfway. So
We'll
not much of a camera guy.
He's camera shy. There you go. Just a jig. See, he's still having fun. All right, so that's our little update. We'll
you guys need to come out and ride.
We'll keep him. Hey, and watch for Chuck on the Spot Wallet tracker and
say hi.
Hunt him down on the highway and give him a wave. You know, and his Facebook page is Chuck Marble. And you'll know it's the right Chuck Marble because at the header there's a big blown up picture of this Warhorse logo, so you can find him there. Leave a message, put a picture of yourself or your bike or whatever. Just give him a thumbs up. And we've been using hashtag Good Luck Chuck, so people have been following that. So thanks for watching.
I'll post that link again. I'll post that.
the...
I'll post that link on
Oh, he's going to put the Spot Wallet link there on his Facebook page. But I've got it all over my things. I try and keep it up. If not, you can also email me, max@traxxion.com, and I'll send you the link. But So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We'll be back with more great content real soon.